Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. I am Tony. This is episode 23, and I am being joined by Matthew and Drew. How are we all doing after a pretty rough series, to say the least, against the Brewers this weekend?
Man, that was not a fun one to watch.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, it was a rough one. Unfortunately, I think it just again proves why the Rockies are so behind. Just when they play against a good team, they get destroyed. And sadly, it was from a lot of guys, at least pitching wise, that we've come to rely on a little bit in the bullpen. Really showed some weakness in this series, which really stinks. But first, we get to start the podcast on a high note, at least. Because this past week the Rockies went into Anaheim and they actually won the series against the Angels, who right now they've been battling for the worst team in baseball, the title of that. The Rockies still hold it, but they at least took the series from the Angels. Um, and the first game of it was probably, other than the Giants walk off, I think that other than that one, this was probably the craziest game of the year. I don't know if you guys stayed up to watch it or anything, but like it was so back and forth. It was Rockies were up 2-0, and then they ended up allowing 5 runs in, I think, the third inning or something. And so at that point, I was already like, oh, well, cool, because it was a grand slam, just all the wind out of the sails and stuff. Um, and I think at one point they were down even more, I want to say. Oh, maybe not. No. So then they scored a run in the fifth, but then the Angels scored again. So it was 6-3 going into the top of the eighth inning, and then the Rockies rattled off 5 runs in that top of the eighth inning. And then the Angels scored 2 in the bottom to tie the game. So then it was like, oh no, like Rockies really gonna battle all the way back, get a lead, and then just blow it again. But then in that ninth inning, it was a Kyle Karros, I think like double, like a Kyle Karros double, and then a Sterling Thompson RBI single to drive him in or something like that. And so that was really cool to see those guys do well. But and then pitching wise, I mean, it's kind of unfortunately, it was the same story with Kyle Freeland, just getting roughed up. He allowed 5 runs, six runs, 5 earned in 5 2/3 innings, which is really sad to say. That's probably one of his better outings in his last like 10. And he allowed a run an inning, and yet that was still probably one of his better outings, sadly. But McCarthy had a home run in this. He had an RBI with 2 walks as well. Goodman had a 3-run bomb in that eighth inning that gave him the lead. That was like a big thing. And then Halverson and Senzatella were locked down. So here we're going to talk good on Senzatella before later in the show. But Senzatella was solid. Halverson's actually been pretty good since getting called back up. He hasn't really done anything bad as of yet, knock on wood. And so he's also I've noticed he's been used pretty sparingly compared, I feel, to other guys. And I think a lot of that is just the confidence thing, because with him, he seems to be a head case. If he's dialed in, he's going to, dot 101 on the black, and it'll be impossible for the hitter to do anything. But if he's not on, it's a Victor Vodnik situation where it's like you could tell right off the bat, and he's just going to walk everyone, and it's just not going to end well. But he's been very solid this year. And so that game ended up ending 9-8. It was a crazy one. It was a lot of fun to watch, honestly. It was probably one of the more fun games, especially in these last few weeks for the Rockies. Definitely a fun one to watch. In that second game, Sagano, I mean, I think this should just be his trademark start line. Is five innings, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Like the 5 innings with 2 or 3 runs is his specialty. And like, because I think he's the definition of a guy that's not going to go out there and win you a game, but he's not going to lose you a game either. And so, that's kind of what you need from one of these veteran guys, especially with how injured this rotation's been and how not good some of the guys in the rotation have been. He has been just that solid anchor, honestly, and it's been really good. And so that signing has been really nice. Goodman and Castro had a home run, which I do not believe that Castro's only went. They said it only went like 430. There is no way that only went 430 feet. But whatever. I think Statcast is like messed up in a lot of ways with that because like they get distances wrong all the time, and I think that one they definitely did. For a little bit, I was super hyped because I thought I got another home run both from Hunter Goodman, but then also TJ Rumfield. But then that one actually, a few days after, was reversed and turned into a 4-base error on Joe Adell. So that stinks. And it's funny because earlier this year, Joe Adell is the guy that robbed 3 home runs in the same game. And so he got however many defensive runs saved for doing that, and he probably just gave all of them up with that one play where he allowed.
That's actually the second time Joe Adell's done that this season.
Well, like the bounce off, go over the wall thing. Oh my goodness, he's the definition of a wild card, I guess, in the outfield. So that stinks for me, but it doesn't matter. In the end of the day, the Rockies ended up winning this one 8-2. It was kind of an easy win for them. McCarthy, Johnston, and Julian all had 2 hits as well. Johnston continues like his average right now. He's got like a pretty good average. I think he's like 5th in the National League, at least in average or something. And he has the best average against right-handed pitchers in the league. And so he continues to be solid. That last game was a little more forgettable. Unfortunately, it was another Lorenzen blowout. He continues to struggle just big time. It was 3 1/3 innings, allowing 8 runs on 10 hits with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. And you could tell, I think it was in that first inning, like maybe in that first inning, I think he may have got out of it, but it was pretty soon in that game. Yeah, it got through the first inning, no runs, and then allowed 6 in the second. So it was just like, well, great. Good start. Yeah, just absolutely. There were 2 guys on their team that had 4 hits. Like, that's just brutal. His ERA is now up to 8.01 on the year. That is so bad.
Worse than Sensatella last year, by the
way. Right now, it is, yeah. Him and Freeland are both worse than Sensatella as of now. Halverson, again, had a scoreless inning in this game. TJ Shook did. Who got sent down at some point earlier this week because he had some rough games against Milwaukee. But overall, yeah, no, it was just, this one was not close. Offense kind of didn't do anything. They scored 4 runs, but these were kind of, at this point, it was kind of already like over. Troy Johnson had 2 hits at least, but again, not really much with that one. It's just one of those games. And it just happens to be how it goes. They won the series at least, so it was, won the series, but still not a fun one to end on.
Do you think this hasn't been talked about at all? I don't even think by us.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think Troy Johnston's working his way up to be a trade candidate?
There was an article, I think either Ken Rosenthal or Bob Nightingale posted like last week or earlier this week or so. I think it was last week. And he mentioned 2 guys that the Rockies could trade. Now, it wasn't like they were on the trade block, they were listening. It was a could trade, and it was both Troy Johnston and TJ Rumfield. And in my opinion, I think Rumfield should be off limits. I get it that, yes, this year is a wash. You're not caring about this year, but it's also like, and you're going to replace him with what? Like, there's literally nothing. We do not have depth in our farm system at all right now. There's nothing going on right now. So, but Troy Johnston, I think, has a little bit better of a case to be a trade candidate, I believe. I could see it. I think a little more. I think I'd be more okay with it, I think, for sure, because he's kind of in that awkward, he could play first, but he could play the outfield not very well, but he hits for average at least. He's not done a lot extra base hit wise, but he does hit for average and he walks a decent amount. And then he's also just a huge vibes guy, which would stink for the Rockies to lose because I think they do need more guys like that. But I think there's a solid chance I think that he is at least going to be listened to as a trade candidate this year.
I think he's flying under the radar because everybody's really talking about Senza. The Mickey conversation's really quieted down since he got hurt.
I think, yeah. Just gotta wait for him to
So I
come
think
back.
he's officially. I would stamp him safe. I would stamp Moniak safe at this point.
I think with Moniak,
barring an insane return.
I think that's the thing is that Moniak, it's just a matter of if he comes back and plays super well. Like I think that's what it'll rely on for him. But
the Rockies, I don't think have very many viable trade people, as much as they were probably hoping for going into the year.
Yeah, I agree
because they clearly signed a lot of guys that were like, this could be their bounce back and get traded to a contender or someone who wins more.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people haven't
played
worked out.
Yeah.
That way.
I think another one that possibly, like, I don't see it happening, but possibly is Tomoyuki Sagano. I just don't see a team wanting him as, because he's if he's gonna go to a contender, he's gonna be like a fifth starter, like a fourth or fifth starter, and I don't see a team really needing that right now. So I'd be pretty shocked, but who knows? I mean, never know. And again, that's also still almost 2 months away, so we still got a lot of baseball to play between then, and I'm assuming that this new front office is going to be pretty busy with it, with the both with the draft coming up and with trade stuff. So at least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that they're going to be a little more busy than they have been in previous years. So, but yep, that's the Angels series. And then now we get to talk about the not as fun one. Rockies get swept by the Brewers, which, like, we could have seen this coming. What makes this really not fun is that first game. The Rockies absolutely should have won this game. This was a very, very winnable game. Especially after the start that Feltner gave. He was lights out. He pitched 6 in coming back from injury, by the way, at Coors Field. He pitched 6 innings of 1 run, 4 strikeouts to 2 walks against a pretty solid Brewers lineup. Goodman had a homer too. He has been dialed in at the plate. He has been absolutely dialed in. And unfortunately, as I said earlier, unfortunately it's been a really bad case of late bullpen collapses recently, and this one falls on Senzatella and Juan Mejia, which really stinks because, like, I loved Juan Mejia since last year. He came up and was pretty solid. This year, he has just had multiple times where he's had very bad blow-up innings, and unfortunately, it comes out of a pretty rough time. But for Senzatella, what really stinks with it is that the Rockies were up. What? They were up
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, they were up 3-1 going into the top of the 9th inning. Senzatella had struck out the side, I'm pretty sure, or struck out 2 or 3 or something like that in the 8th inning. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, send it back out, because why wouldn't you? Like, it made sense. And then he allowed the first runner to get on base, and then he got a ground ball hit right to him. And all he needed to do was turn around, and even if you don't go to second, just realize that maybe the play's too close and just go to first and get an out. And he unfortunately threw it too low for whoever was playing second. I think it was Chad Stevens. And if the throw got past him, it went into center field. And honestly, from there, it was just pretty obvious what was going to happen. They ended up scoring 4 runs, and it really stinks because Rockies come back and they tie it up in the bottom of the 9th. They score 2 runs of their own in a good comeback way. And then, unfortunately, Juan Mejia comes in and allows 4 runs, 3 of them earned, in only a third of an inning. He had 2 walks, just 3 hits. It was just unfortunate that they waste a comeback like that on a game like that. And then by then they were already down. And it stinks because they scored 2 runs in that bottom of the 10th too. Like they scored 2. But on it was Sterling Thompson. They had a bases loaded, no one out situation. Sterling Thompson knocked in 2 with a single, and then of course, good old Drew's favorite player right now, Brett Sullivan, comes up to bat and grounds like first pitch he sees. I'm pretty sure grounds into a double play, and that pretty much sealed the deal. Classic case of the Rockies out hitting the opponent yet still losing. Really, really good stuff. It's just a brutal one, honestly. Like, there's really not much else to say. That absolutely should have been a win. Absolutely should have been a win. But it is what it is. That next game, Agnos was okay. He started again, which seems to be what they're kind of doing with him right now, and not even as not as the opener thing, not like a 1 inning opener, especially because that was just not working. But Agnos has been like pitching multiple innings type of thing to start the game. If you remember last time he started, went in Arizona, and he was very good. Like, I think he went 5 scoreless or 5 1-run innings or something like that. He was absolutely nails. This time, 3 innings with 2 runs, it's okay. It's about what our starters would be doing, probably. So can't really be too mad about that. But late in the game again, a pretty close one until Bernardino and TJ Shook blow it in the late for the Rockies. And then it was also just, that was a game that you couldn't allow many runs because you weren't going to score any, because they were going against Jacob Mizorowski, who did what he's been doing. 7 innings, 1 run with 8 strikeouts. Just he also set the record for the hardest pitch thrown by a starting pitcher in history. So that's sick that happened against the Rockies. He also nailed Tyler Freeman in the head with an luckily a softer 98 mile an hour cutter. So, but
still, though, man,
I was not happy when I saw that. It's like, how, like, are we being for real? But it's whatever. I think Freeman's okay. I haven't seen anything about him missing time, but yeah, I just realized I didn't even have notes for the last game. Oops. I just
they lost.
Yeah, they lost. Not a good one. I'm just gonna do a real quick check. Yeah, 12-4. This was a one. Yeah, they were up 3-1 again, going into the top of the 6th inning, like kind of cruising. I think Freeland was pitching into that inning, like he was doing okay, and then he just lost all. He pretty much got that record,
and then we'll talk about. Was like, all right, I'm good,
and then pretty much just lost all the wind in his sails. Jaden Hill came in, and it was brutal. Like, he got roughed up. In a third of an innings, he allowed 5 runs. The first pitch he threw was a Gary Sanchez bomb.
Yeah.
It's just really, really brutal. He got a blown save for that one. And then Keegan Thompson, who's just been the cleanup man, the mop-up guy, he kind of got roughed up, but by then the game was over. Offensively, not really much. Castro had 2 hits. Hunter Goodman had a home run again in the 9th inning. Just, he continues to do his thing. Tovar has been okay recently. He got a hit in 4 at-bats. I didn't mention, but I'm going to now. He got the golden... He had a platinum sombrero, actually, against the Angels in the first game. 5 strikeouts, so love to see that. But again, overall, if this stinks, because like Rockies only struck out 7 times on yesterday's game on Sunday, but like it's just another one of those. Just the pitching really just didn't give him a chance. So, but yeah, that one, not really much to say. A quick note, just with everything, is you've been noticing the blowouts that we've been talking about. Rockies have allowed 7+ runs in 4 straight games, which is great. 2 of those games, which were 11 and 12 runs respectively, as well. So, not good stuff. This is something that I have started really making notes of and like noticing. I honestly think that the pitching is, at this point, it feels like it's worse than it was last year. Like, at least as of the last like 2 weeks or something, I'm sure that it's not. but it feels really bad right now. Now, I don't have anything to base that off of other than just gut feeling, but that's just how it feels right now. And it's just not fun to watch right now. It's pretty hard to get through some games.
Yeah.
It's not even like they're consistently bad. It's, of course, the typical 1 or 2 innings that are just a blow up of 6 runs. They're not pitching bad all the time. They just have a bad inning, and it just ruins it. Besides Lorenzen, he gets blown up at every inning. But.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one game in June so far that we haven't given up at least 7 runs.
Oh yeah, that's true. Even in the one win, I didn't even think about that too. Wow.
Yeah. We won 8-2 on June 2nd, but June 1st was 9-8. So
yeah, I just looked it up. Year by year team pitching. This is just total pitching, not just starters or just bullpen. It's just pitching. Currently, they have a 5.68 ERA, which is not worse than last year. Last year was a 5.97, which is just insane. Almost 6 runs a game is crazy. But a 5.60 ERA, which is funny because in the last 4 years, it's actually better than 2023 as well. 2024 was a little bit better than what we have, but 2023 not as bad. But so it's just right now, it just feels really not good to watch. Yeah, I don't really know. Offense, at least this is the thing though, that we've talked about, is that the offense is up from last year. It is better than last year. I think that that's how we can show that we have been better than last year right now, is that the offense is definitely better. Runs per game wise, Rockies have 4.3 runs per game, whereas last year it was 3.69. So like we have almost, over half a run more. Granted, again, this is not even halfway through the season. This is 66 games, but still it's good to see that. Currently the Rockies have slightly better, they have better, average, a better on base by a decent amount. Last year we had an on-base percentage as a team of a 293, so below 300. Right now it's at 316. And honestly, a lot of that is really thank you to guys like Kyle Karros and TJ Rumfield for getting a lot of walks, because for as much crap that we have given Kyle Karros for not having a lot of results, it feels like the guy walks at a pretty solid clip, which is really nice to see. He's walking currently at a 13.1 clip, which is the 85th percentile in the league. So he's getting his walks. He's just not getting that average. But even then, he's getting up there. He's got 225 average right now, which is a lot better than his previous what he's been having, before then. But overall, solid enough. But other than those series, I don't really feel like we need to say anything else on the Brewers one, other than the note that I mentioned earlier, I think a little bit. On Sunday, so yesterday, in the game against the Brewers, Kyle Freeland officially passed Aaron Cook for the all-time innings pitched record for the Rockies as a franchise. And so I know we've have our pros and cons and everything of Kyle Freeland. But I do think that that's kind of cool that a Colorado guy is the Rockies leader. Like, I think that that's actually kind of cool. I feel like that's not really common for a lot of other teams to have a guy that's like from their state be the dude. And like, obviously with like the Dodgers, but that's also because a lot of players come from California or Texas or places like that. But I think it's pretty cool that Freeland is the all-time leader. I think that's a pretty cool thing. But unfortunately he couldn't get, the win in that or anything, but I feel like that fits better with how everything has been going right now. But yeah, I felt like that was worth a mention that he got that done. And so that's pretty cool. But does anyone else have anything else on the past week of Rockies baseball?
Nope.
Hunter Goodman is tied for the most home runs in June so far with 4.
Okay. Cool. I think he might have excuse me. I think he has the most home runs by a primary catcher.
Probably.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I think that would make sense.
Because the big dumper has been
Definitely, yeah.
the big slumper.
He's got 17, and next is Shea Langoliers with 16.
Which Austin Wynns got DFA'd because Shea Langoliers came back, just by the way.
Oh, brutal. But Austin Wynns is now on the Braves, though, correct?
Which we discovered on Instagram.
Yep.
And of course, I look at the comments, and it's like Austin Wynns mentioned, and I was like, "There's no way."
No, everyone's got to have that journeyman guy that you gotta love.
He's got a cult following.
Yeah,
and he threw an absolute laser to second base. So
he's a defensive.
that's
he's a
on
good
par for
defensive catcher. That's his thing. Is that he's a good defensive catcher. He just can't really hit. But it's okay. He's a backup catcher. Like that's not what you're there for. So
it's not 2024 Jacob Stalling.
No, there's never going to be another. Yeah, that is a rarity, honestly.
That was the greatest month of my Rockies fandom. Was so Jacob Stallings hitting DH?
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no. Hunter Goodman has been like, if you wanted to talk about recent notes with how the Rockies have been doing. Obviously, they have a lot of problems with what's been going on, but you cannot say that Hunter Goodman is one of those problems. And I know a lot of people, obviously, now that trade talks are going to start picking up, everyone's going to be saying trade him, blah, blah, blah. I think the Rockies would be, I just don't see the point. Like, I get it that, yes, try and get some guys for him, but at the same time, it's like, if you have a good player, why would you not keep him? So it's kind of hard to... It's a hard thing to think about, but
I mean, he's on the trajectory to be the best Rockies catcher of all time, which isn't very hard. He's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we do not exactly have a very good farm system for catching right now. So I think getting rid of him would just be stupid. I mean, I don't know. Obviously we're not, we're rebuilding, but we have to build around someone. The goal was Tovar, and hopefully it still is Tovar, at least as one of those pieces. And I would be very happy to have Goodman as another one of those pieces.
I would agree. With that. I'm looking really quick. In his last 11 games, Hunter Goodman, he's hitting 250, fine. 367 on base percentage, a pretty high, a 775 slugging for a 1.142 OPS. He's got 6 home runs, 3 doubles, 12 RBIs. That's
a Kyle Schwarber line.
Yes, he is hitting a home run every other game right now. Yeah. He has just been absolutely insane. I don't remember what his pace is. I don't know if that's even... I don't even know if I can find that. I don't even know how to go about that. Or would I just have to calculate? How many games have they played? He's played in 60 games this year. He's played in 60 games this year. And so...
Oh, it's 66 games. Oh, it's 60. Oh, no, he's played 60.
I'm pretty sure there's a way to Sorry, I don't mean to be... I'm pretty sure there's a way to see
math.
what... There's a way
There's
to
your math, guys.
Well, it's not that. It's there's a pace thing. It shows what his pace would be. But I don't know where to find that. Shoot, whatever. Doesn't really matter too much. I'm just looking at it. He still does have a pretty high strikeout rate. That's, I think, is always going to be his problem. Is he's currently striking out 7% more than he was last year. He's at 33.7%. But he's also walking more than he did last year. He's walking at a 7.9% clip, and he's hitting more home runs at a higher clip. So, it's kind of the give or take. He's going to be an all or nothing guy. And, it's just kind of how he's been. Which, It's cool. Trying to see, like, I just want to see what the pace is. It's not going to show me. You're stupid.
It says Fangraph says 42.
So he's on pace for 42 home runs this year. That would be insane. A 40 home run catcher. I get it that Cal Raleigh did it. Whatever. He's clearly not going to do it again this year. But like, that's crazy to think about, that Goodman has a legitimate chance to be a 40 home run guy. If you told me that he was a 30 home run guy 2 years ago, I would say you are crazy. You are on something. But it's really cool, honestly. It's just nice to see a guy on the farm finally like producing at the major league level well. It's just nice to see.
I agree.
But yeah, that's our Hunter Goodman glaze piece. So we could. I was gonna say we could do like a negative one, but pick and choose whoever you want at this point. Pretty much the entire pitching staff, other than Feltner because he hasn't pitched enough, is on that list. I guess Sagano's ERA is now under 4. It's a 3.398. So like I like that. That's pretty solid. Lorenzen, like I said, Lorenzen and Freeland have an 8.01 ERA and a 7.81 ERA respectively. Just not good. Juan Mejia's ERA is up to a 6.44. Oh, I hate that. What's his FIP? What? His FIP is a 3.79, so he's kind of getting unlucky with that then. FIP, which is field independent pitching, that's the home runs, walks, and strikeouts. It's like what the pitcher has control over type of thing. And like a 3.79 FIP is pretty good. And so having a 6.44 ERA is kind of unfortunate, honestly. What's his whip? He has a high whip, though. That's why. He's got a 1.8 whip. And even then, Senzatella, even with his bad blowout, I mean, he still's got a 1.98 ERA. Like, he is still solid. That's the thing, is that he was due a blowout at some point. He was due a blown save, due something. But like overall, he's been good. You want to know who someone actually has been pretty solid? And I know when he came up, I was like, "Who is this guy?" And he's been good. Has been Blas Castano. Yes. This guy has been pretty good. In 15 2/3 innings, he's pitched to a 3.45 ERA. He's got 14 strikeouts in that time, an ERA plus of 1.41. Like, he's been pretty good, and he's essentially served as a bulk reliever guy. He's kind of what Tanner Gordon has become, which that's another guy that right now he is just not looking good. He's now on the 10-day IL or the 15-day IL, but he was not doing well. A few other guys, I mean, mentioned TJ Shook came up, made his major league debut. He had a few good outings, got roughed up against the Brewers a little bit, and he got sent down. Sammy Peralta is back up with the Rockies now. And like I said earlier, Seth Halverson has been pretty good. He's got a 2.70 or 2.57 ERA in 14 innings. I'm looking at the offense really quick, trying to see who's been still solid. Jake McCarthy continues to still honestly impress me a lot. He's been a doubles machine. I feel like he's hit a lot of them. He's got 11 doubles on the year. He's got like 4 in his last like 7 games or something though. Like, he's been pretty good. I love to see that for sure.
Yeah.
TJ Rumfield still is kind of doing his thing. He's kind of taken a little bit of a step, like a little bit of a back step a little bit. He did get hurt. He did have a messed up, I think, shoulder, I think it was, or like an elbow or something, but he's back in the lineup and he's doing fine. Like I mentioned, Kyle Karros, as of recent, he's been getting his hits back in, and so he's had a solid few weeks. Tyler Freeman, I think, is still doing fine, but right now it's pretty clear that this offense is still really lacking a big bat like Moniak, and it really stinks that he's been out for so long.
I think he comes back tomorrow, though. So
I really hope so. Like,
I mean, that's what MLB.com says, is that he comes back tomorrow.
Is it like he is officially coming back tomorrow, or is it that he is eligible to come back tomorrow?
I think he's eligible to come back tomorrow.
It's only been 10
Oh.
days since he's been placed on the IL.
It's felt like forever.
It's felt like it's been like 3
Really
weeks,
has.
like 4
Like
weeks
it feels like he's just been
gone
like
for so long.
non-existent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. This is something
But,
where, at least Rockies wise, there are currently 5 players that have OPS pluses over 100. Last year, I think we had 1. Can you guys guess the 5 really quick? Just throw out your guesses.
Goodman,
Yes, 1. Good job.
Rumfield,
Yes.
Moniak,
Yeah.
Troy Johnston.
Yep.
Jake McCarthy.
Yep. That's all 5.
Yeah,
Wow.
there we go.
Good job. There are currently 2 players that have OPS pluses that are under 0. Can you name? You're not going to get them. One of them you might, but one of them you're not going to get.
Deck.
No, actually, shocking. No.
Good.
Yeah, no.
I wouldn't want that to be.
Yeah.
Edward Julian?
No, he's not been that bad.
He was good for 2.
He was good for too long.
Yeah, he was good for 2. One of them's done 4. It's Ryan Ritter because he was bad for like a week and then got sent down.
he doesn't count. I forgot.
Like 3 games, maybe.
The other is a guy that's currently on the active roster playing right now.
Is it Chad Stevens?
It is Chad Stevens.
Hey, he's a defensive specialist.
He currently has a negative 27 OPS plus.
I think he has 1 hit
I
this year.
believe that he has 1 hit as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he does.
And it's just a base hit.
1 hit.
No, I remember that hit.
1 hit
Yeah,
and 23
remember.
at-bats. Oh, man.
I think it was
It gave the Rockies a lead.
It was.
yeah,
it was an
like
RBI.
it was like a clutch
Yep.
one.
Yeah, it was against the Arizona. Yeah. So at least he made it count.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I was gonna say something. Blas Castano,
Mm-hmm.
he had a very ballsy
Challenge?
challenge.
Yes,
pitcher's
yeah,
challenge.
I do
And
remember that.
it was
Paid
good.
off.
Because the reason it was ballsy was because Brett Sullivan, not even like 3 pitches before that, had used one of our challenges.
Yeah.
He wasted one of our challenges in that same at bat. So I was like, "You had better be right here."
Yeah.
But luckily he was, and he got pretty fired up about it. So that was nice to
Yeah,
see.
he gives me huge Jeffrey Yan vibes. Like
Oh,
even when
yeah.
he finishes every pitch,
Yeah.
like you would think he got a strikeout in the 9th inning of the World Series. Every pitch.
You know, I appreciate
I'm
that
fine.
from pitchers because, like, it feels like a few of our hitters have got that like fire, but like our pitching, I mean, and I think rightfully so in some cases with pitching for the Rockies at Coors Field. Like, why would you get hyped up as you allow 450-foot home runs? But like, really, other than like Victor Vodnik's got a little bit of that, but like. Jimmy Herget does not strike fear into the enemy. No offense to Jimmy Herget, but I don't think he just doesn't do that. Like, that's just not what he does. He's got the weird mechanics. That's how he gets you out. Like Halverson, I think is intimidating because he's just a big dude that throws gas, but he's just got to hone it in. But this year he's been good. So, but yeah, no, I do remember the ballsy challenge, but good for him. He got the strikeout at least, and he's been pitching pretty well for the Rockies. So that's good for him.
True. Agreed.
But if we got nothing else on the Rockies, like team wise, really quick minor league stuff, a few things, or I think at least one thing. Emerson Castellano, Jesus. I think I mentioned him like a while ago. I think he was a pitcher of the week a while ago, and he was pitcher of the week again this past week for Albuquerque. He's been pretty good this year, I believe, for Albuquerque, which is, that's rare to see considering usually every pitcher that goes down there is awful. But this year, I mean, he has been like very, very good. So he was mainly in Hartford, and he had a 2.72 ERA in Hartford over 53 innings, and then he got called up to Albuquerque, and he has a 0 ERA right now. Through 6 innings, he's not allowed a runner. He's only allowed 1 hit. And he struck out 7. So, like, he's been absolutely dialed in for them. Really cool to see. So, hopefully he can keep up that continued stuff. I don't got the stats available. I saw that Condon hit another home run. I believe that Veen has been on a tear. And like I said, I think I said this last week maybe. I expect him to get called up by the end of June, or something. I expect it because I think he's kind of knocking down, what's the word? Kicking down the door. Is that the term? I don't know. He's
Yeah.
I think on his way to getting a chance again with the Rockies. Now, how they're going to go about making room for him, I don't know. I think from the stats we just read, I think there's a guy by the name of Chad Stevens that may not be playing up to par. I get it that he can play multiple positions, but again, that's why you have someone like Willie Castro. You have Willie Castro and Edward Julian to play second base. I don't think you need a third second baseman. So yeah. I think right now Chad Stevens, he was a call up. I feel like when Moniak got hurt, and it was hey, this dude, in all fairness, that dude was crushing in he was literally leading the PCL in hitting. And he currently, like we said, has one hit in 7 games. So it really just shows how hard MLB is compared to minor leagues. But yeah, I expect Veen to make his debut sooner, or not debut, but 2026 debut sooner rather than later. I'm expecting that.
Agreed.
But other than that, I got really nothing else with the minor leagues. I think just typical normal stuff going on. We're soon going to be getting to the point where there's going to be a lot of graduations in the minor leagues. A lot of people are going to start moving, because that's usually what happens when you get near the draft and trade season and everything is a lot of people start moving. And so we'll probably have more updates with that in the coming weeks. But for now, not too much. This is a bit of sad news, honestly. In this next part. So Rockies writers. So there's a pretty tight knit group, I feel, on Twitter and just in the Rockies space of the beat writers, the MLB beat writers, where there's Thomas Harding, who's works for the Rockies. He's their MLB guy. But then you have I know Patrick Lyons does his own thing. And then you've got the other places like the DNVR who do their thing. Blake Street Banner does a lot of the minor league stuff. You got a lot of those guys doing it. Rockies Now also doing their thing. Purple Row as well. And one guy that worked for the Denver Post is Patrick Saunders. And it was announced earlier this week that he's actually leaving the Denver Post. And that really stinks because I've read quite a lot of his stuff, and he I saw a lot of people praising him for what he does. I feel uniquely compared to a lot of other Rockies writers is that he will question things, and he will, call blame if he feels the need to. It's not everything is sunshine and rainbows and stuff. It's hey, this is not good what's going on with certain things with the Rockies organization. And he did a good job calling the Rockies out on bad things. And so that really stinks that the Rockies space is going to be losing someone like him. I hope that whatever he does, in the future, he enjoys doing. I don't know what the decision was that made him do that. I don't know if it was a staffing decision or he's just deciding to leave. I don't know for sure. But a really sad one, honest, just overall, really. So, but yeah, not to bring the podcast to a screeching halt in terms of the vibes, but yeah, that's just a sad one to go out on. But all good. There's still plenty of writers with the Rockies, so if you want to read up on stuff, there's plenty of stuff you can read everywhere. But they are going to be missing a pretty big presence there on the Rockies space. So, and then next up, I think finally we got the home run draft update. Matthew, do you have that up?
Yep, I've got that pulled up.
Yep.
Currently in last place we have Drew. I think Castro maybe had another one.
He did.
So there you go. So he's at 5 now. Second place is Matthew with 17. think Tovar might have had another one. I can't remember. Probably not, actually, now that I think of it.
I don't remember.
Either way.
Since last week, I don't think so.
Yeah. And in first place, we have Anthony with 27 because Hunter Goodman has just been on a tear. So,
yeah.
You know?
I did get the -1, or I got one and then got it taken back because of the rum field.
True.
But whatever. Yeah,
I like how the home run draft was my idea. Here I am. Suffering for the next 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Hey, you took a risk, and I respect your risk.
I gambled and I lost.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Yeah,
Classic,
unfortunately.
With every single pick.
Yeah. Very, very brutal stuff, honestly. Yeah. That's the thing, like we've said, like we said at the beginning, there were really two guys that like were solid, like you could count on them to hit at least like 15 plus home runs, and then kind of everyone else was a wild card, which is kind of crazy. But
and has 100% been the case too.
Yeah, it's literally been Moniak and Goodman, and then everyone else has been not that good. But it is what it is. But I don't think I have anything else. I guess really quick, let's see who the Rockies are playing this week. I know they play the Cubs. Play the Cubs for 3.
Cubs, A's, Cubs,
and then they go to Vegas. This is the first time that they're going to be actually playing. Or no, not Vegas, Sacramento. And so that'll be fun, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting for the Rockies to be playing in a minor league ballpark. But yeah, so that'll be fun for them. I think same thing. Right now, the Cubs have been really struggling. I know the Rockies have too, but like, if you're going to catch the Cubs on a bad time, I think right now would be that time because their offense has not been great and their pitching staff has not been great either. So I think they have a chance here, especially playing at home.
Yeah. So their matchups tomorrow is Sagano and Colin Ray.
Okay.
Which all of these pitchers are between 4.5 ERA and 5.
I did see that, yeah.
Now, the Wednesday is the throwaway game because Lorenzen's on the mound.
Yeah.
So we can just mark that one off.
Yep.
And Thursday, which, funny enough, Thursday, Beltner versus Cabrera, I will be in the airport when that game starts. And unfortunately, thank you, Blackout, I will not be able to watch the end of the game because I will be in Denver.
Yeah.
So, yippee.
Yeah.
But I think if Feltner keeps dealing the way he is against a guy with a 4.99 ERA, the Rockies are going to do something. So,
yeah, I agree. I think that they have a pretty solid chance. I think this week to at least win one of these series. The A's, I don't think have been anything crazy good. I don't believe. It feels like a lot of the AL this year in particular has been not that great. Currently the A's are 31-34. And yet they are third in their division. Kind of crazy. Oh, I would also like to make mention the Padres, they've been on a bad slide, and it brings me so much joy. It makes me very happy.
It's a win for us.
Right now, if we're going to go NOS standings really quick, I feel like we haven't done a standings thing. Because, like, obviously this is just Rockies pod, but, like, standings really quick in the NOS. We got the Dodgers number 1, shocker. They are 42-24. Second is Arizona at 34-31. Padres are 33-31. Giants are 27-39, and then the Rockies are the reverse of the Dodgers, 24-42, which is fine. Again, they have double the wins that they had last year at this time, pretty much. So, it is what it is. But other than that, I don't really have much else, I don't think. Do you guys got anything?
Nope.
Nope, nothing from me.
Hopefully the Rockies take advantage of bad pitching in the next series. I don't think the Cubs bullpen is great either.
No, I don't think so either. So like I said, I think that they have a legitimate chance here to win one of these series. Their bullpen's just got to lock in a little bit in close games. Their starters have got to do their thing. Hopefully Goodman doesn't have to just be the only dude that's hitting on the Rockies. But we'll see how it goes. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. Go Rockies, and we will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.